Faraway Lucas, are you ready to talk about the Predator?
I'm always ready to talk about the man, the myth, the legend that is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Never forget, he beats up a Predator with a log. Just Predator's there, log, done. Eat shit.
Come on, kill me, I'm here!
The Predators, or the Yachua, I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's in all the Predator wikis and all the extended universe material. I can't pronounce it, I've never heard it said out loud. So I'm going to say Predator is a fictional alien species that travels the universe looking for game to hunt.
The thing is, we've pronounced that in different ways on different videos before, and every time we get corrected anyway, so just the Predator's fine.
Like, Lucas, how do you pronounce Y-A-U-T-J-A?
Yachua?
Yachua. That's the I don't know, and like I say, it's only really, I've only ever seen it in written materials where there isn't any spoken word reference for me to use. So just the Predator from here on out. But as mentioned, they're a fictional race who travel the universe, hunting game and making trophies of them. And for anyone who's unfamiliar with the extended universe material discussing the Predator, virtually everything about them revolves around the hunt, which makes their religion especially metal. And Faraway Lucas, this video is essentially going to be like a Wiki Weekend light. Because most of the stuff we're about to discuss is gleaned from Xenopedia, aka the Alien vs Predator wiki. But I've just written it into an article revolving around a singular aspect of Predator culture, namely their religion. But for anyone out there who enjoyed our Wiki Weekend series, it's its own thing now, yes?
It is indeed, and obviously we record videos a little bit in advance, so when you go on the channel there'll be a few more podcasts, but as speaking, we've just released a podcast where we talk about Alien vs Predator, the film.
So if you want to hear us talk more about aliens and predators, you can do so at the Wiki Weekend channel. And I think one day we need to do an episode of the Wiki Weekends podcast where it's Alien versus Predator. And you find an article about alien shit, and I'll find an article about Predator shit, or vice versa. And we're just going to talk about it. So I can just sit there and be like, yeah. And maybe I'll get my friend Melissa in, who's super into the Predator. We'll get her in as a guest, so she can just talk Predator, nerd out over Predator with us. But either way,
is this the friend that became Sexy Predator for you, Carl?
She became Sexy Predator, yes. She became the literal sex predator. Wait, no.
No.
That's the thing about the Predator off. Because it's called the Predator, so much of the merch around that franchise is really awkward. Like, do you ever see that image that was floating around of the Halloween outfit for a kid? That was the Predator outfit, and it was just called the latex child Predator outfit.
Oh.
And it's wait, what? It's don't say maybe when you see that's the Predator. But it's when it's called the latex child Predator outfit, and you're like, hang on a second. Imagine ordering that on eBay and having that show up on your bank receipt of what did you order? Well, you ordered a latex child Predator outfit and a bunch of candy. What were you planning on doing?
Yeah, that's like some cops are showing up at your fucking door kind of routine. Maybe that one needed another pass-through marketing.
Where it's is that it's probably fake, where it's that shit post that goes around every now and again a guy's when I was a kid I was obsessed with the movie The Predator, so I made an account on Xbox Live called Child Predator. And we're just no one ever accepted my friend invite.
I kept getting reported, I don't know why.
I need a username, and I have a great one. Little Kid Lover. That way people will know exactly where my priorities are at.
Yeah, it's that reminds me. That reminds me. I did something similar to this. I got banned off of Marvel Snap.
Oh, really?
Because I got in drunk once and was playing Marvel Snap with a pizza, and I realised you could change your name.
Oh,
so I changed my name to Touching Me Todge. I just found that so funny. And I got banned. It's for having an offensive name.
Oh dear.
Did I ever say tell a story about how my mate got banned off Twitch for 6 weeks?
I think you might have told me at some point, but remind me.
He was just on Twitch and do you look for a game? It's there's one person playing this game.
Oh,
He just
yeah.
he just googled like Yu-Gi-Oh and found like this random person streaming like this one Yu-Gi-Oh game from like the PS2 from like 20 years ago. And like he was the only person in chat. And the guy was like, "Oh hey, your name? What are you up to, my mate?" Just like I think he was stoned. Just put, "I have an erection."
Oh no.
And like got banned off Twitch for 6 months.
Fuck's sake.
That's the same mate who got banned off of Yahoo Answers because he went in and they said, "Oh, what's the plural of fridge?" And he just responded, "Frodge." Oh god, my face is so red. I'm sorry. Actually, no, I'm not. It's funny. We're talking about Predator.
Oh, I can't imagine just like being in chat. Like that's the worst. Like a first time chat, not coming in and like spoiling a story thing for you, or like being a bit rude. I've got an erection. It's like, oh no, fuck you.
Obviously, looking even the flip side of someone who does stream, links below. Look at that. I would find that annoying, but just hearing him tell it of how annoyed he was. Like, I got banned for like 6 weeks or something. I was howling and just the way he said it. But yeah, bring it back to the Predator. What do you know about the Predator, Lucas, besides like, it's just like 8 feet tall and just hunts autistic people? That's not me being facetious, by the way. That's an actual plot point in not the last Predator movie, the one before that, where they have a character in it who has autism and the Predators are trying to hunt him so they can drain
Do
his
something with
spinal
the brain or something.
I forget what it's called. But it's like, but they want to get the child with autism to drain his like spinal fluid to take advantage of his superior DNA, which is like it's one of those awful, offensive Hollywood stereotypes that autistic people have superpowers.
It also didn't help that the movie's script put forward the idea that autism was some type of superpower coveted by intergalactic space weirdos.
So I can't imagine how annoyed I'd be if a fundamental aspect of my being was being constantly, one, misunderstood, and two, just offensively used in media.
Yeah.
Like, as a straight white dude, I can't imagine what that's like. And like that's the thing, given how annoyed other straight white dudes get when like the slightest hint of any sort of like criticism is aimed towards them, it must suck ass.
But bringing it back to Predator, Carl, I do know that other than that really awful plotline, I know that generally the Predators go to different planets to hunt down the apex predators of that planet to like find the greatest hunts and train further.
Their entire culture, their society, even interpersonal relationships revolve entirely around the hunt for predators, to the point where it is noted in extended universe materials that female predators will not even pay attention to a male predator until he's killed an alien.
And isn't there entire like hierarchy of power based on how many hunts you've completed as well?
Yep. It's based partly on that and also partly on age, but the age thing is kind of irrelevant. It's just like, if you're old in the Predator universe, you've probably hunted some pretty gnarly shit.
That means you've gone through a lot of hunts, probably.
Tonight, we celebrate.
With a hunt?
Yes. For tomorrow, we hunt.
It's almost like kind of the John Wick aspect, isn't it? Of like, because he's like a bit of an older assassin, and he's lived to tell the tale for that many years in that job. It's like, oh, this guy must be a scary badass.
It's that old saying, is it like, be scared of the old man in a career where people generally die young. Like it reminds me a little bit of in Game of Thrones. Is it like Sir Barrister Selmy? Is it?
Ooh, I don't know.
Like someone's gonna be like losing their shit and pronouncing his name wrong. But there's that legendary like member of the King's Guard who's like 50, 60 years old, and like Joffrey fires him.
You let my father die. You're too old to protect anybody.
An old bodyguard is probably really good at their job.
Because, like, yeah, the shit ones die pretty young. It's like, but at that point in, Game of Thrones, that's like, you don't want to step out in front of Joffrey and tell him he's made a bad decision.
What's the thing, though? He does do that, and he threatens to kill his entire King's Guard. Like, he pulls his sword out, if you remember, he goes, like, I could cut through your entire guard like it was nothing, and everyone there knows he could do it.
Even now, I could cut through the 5 of you like carving a cake.
And then he still fires him. It's so stupid.
Uh,
That's what it's like in like the Predator society of like, yeah, man, if you're an old ass Predator, you're probably real now, or really, really good at running away and lying.
yeah, that's the thing. It's just, is there ever a Predator that's kind of like fleed to, Earth and just spent 30 years chilling out there and been like, yeah, I've been to loads of planets. I've got loads of hunts done.
You actually do get that sometimes in some Predator material where they talk about. Well, this is going to be really awkward. There's going to be so many awkward sound clips from this, isn't there? There's some comics and novels and stuff where they kind of reference that. Like, some Predators do just bitch out and leave. And that brings us to the honor code of the Predator, which is something we've discussed before. But for anyone who's unfamiliar with the honor code of the Predator species, it's a number of rules which their society is guided by, and most of them, as you might have guessed, revolve around hunting or the hunt. And there's rules like don't interrupt the hunt of another predator. If another being saves your life, you owe your life to that being, which is why in the Predator movies, when someone spares a predator, the predator usually gives them a weapon of some kind.
Take it.
In regards to predators bitching the fuck out, it is ingrained within predator society that if a predator does bitch out, leaves, cowards out, refuses to detonate their bomb after an unsuccessful hunt, all other predators are empowered and encouraged to go track that predator down and kill them for more glory and honor. And that reminds me of that great, I forget which game it was, I think it was Quake, where they had a system where and it reminds me of that system they had in, I think it was Quake, where people complained about campers, and it's really difficult, people don't know this, to discourage camping in first-person shooters, because for the most part, it's a really good tactic that's, for the most part, incredibly rewarding, of you sit still, other people play the game, you get kills, and it's really hard to discourage players who get into that mindset. So what they did, I think it was Quake, is that if you stand still for more than 10 seconds, you get a ping above your head that tells everyone where you are and doubles the amount of points that they get for killing you.
Oh, right, okay.
It's if you want to camp, you can do that, but you've got to be fucking good.
So it's very different from, say, for example, a battle royale like Fortnite, where the encouragement to not camp is that there is a shrinking circle where you can survive in, so therefore get moving.
Yeah, and even then it doesn't really work that much, because I've seen, high-level Fortnite play, and I will never play Fortnite. They can put Goku in it all they want, so I'll never forget that one description I heard of Fortnite. Fortnite's a game where you'll shoot someone, they turn into a 3-story skyscraper.
To be fair, that's why I did go and play when they added Goku and there's no build mode and stuff.
They realise, building is antithetical to fun gameplay, because all it encourages is defensive, boring play. Mm-hmm. And the Predators are not about that. They're all about aggression, hunting, honour, and respect, albeit, filtered through the lens of their own quite brutal society. And other rules that they live by include stuff like, only hunt worthy game. And again, it is considered bad form to kill prey that's not worthy, the young, the sick, the elderly, the infirm. It's also encouraged not to wipe out an entire species, because you don't want to kill all the animals, because then if you do, there'll be no more animals for future predators to hunt. And I think it's kind of hilarious that this fictional race of hunters who exist only to hunt have more morals about it than actual poachers and hunters in our world. They openly acknowledge, we don't hunt everything. Don't be a dick. You want this, yeah, we're gonna hunt the animals, but we want there to be more of them.
The alien monster that's hunting down humans and murdering them in cold blood is more honourable than fucking humans are.
And it's that thing as well, it's and I think we had a video about it a few years ago now. We talk about hunting, I get it in the sense you need to hunt to eat food. Or we have to kill animals for the greater good, because without natural predators they'll keep propagating and eat all the stuff, and then the species as a whole will die because there'll be nothing for them to eat. But like sport hunters and like trophy hunters, like, and they talk about it as, in these really romanticized terms of like, you know, it's just you versus nature. It's like, well, no, it's you, a high-powered sniper rifle, versus a wolf.
They
that's not
can't see
hunting.
you because you're 50 feet away with like camouflage and all this shit.
Like, you have every advantage that, like, you know, modern society and technology can afford. If you go out there and hunt it with your bare hands, then I respect that. And that's one of the aspects of like the Predator films I don't quite like. And they kind of tone it down in later movies where they say, oh yeah, the Predator's this honourable hunter. It's like, it's the equivalent of like, you know, the rich guy in the savannah with a high-powered sniper rifle shooting the elephant from 3 miles away. Of like, half the time when the Predator kills people, he just shoots them while invisible with a gun that instantly kills them.
With thermal vision on and all this extra bullshit, yeah, it's like, that's not really much of a fight, is it? It's a hunt, but it's not a fight.
And that is something they address in like later films and books and comics and things like that, where they say predators who do that are generally looked down upon. And they say that if you directly challenge a predator, it is honor bound to accept that challenge. And that's why when you have films like the first Predator movie, where Arnold Schwarzenegger strips off and the Predator accepts his challenge. They like that idea of like the comics and stuff, and they wrote that into the law of the species and said if you directly challenge a predator, it is honor bound to accept it. And if it doesn't, other predators with bigger guns will come and hunt that one down.
You know what I want to see if they ever like made another Predator movie? Is just when they go to the trophy room, there should be a Turbo Man head just as a trophy, and it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator like settled down, you know, went into regular everyday life, Jingle All the Way happened, he became Turbo Man, and then like he redonned the suit to go fight the Predator when it came back.
Would you? That's how the Alien vs Predator movies like got made. It's in Predator 2, they have like a blink you'd miss it shot of an alien queen skull in the background, like the Predator ship, and that's because the Predator effects were by Stan Winston Studios, who made the alien queen, and just had that prop lying around, so they put it in the background as a nod to their previous work. And that's what inspired fans, like, wow, these universes exist together. And that's how AVP, the film version, came out. The comics had already had them fighting for years, but that's how it was ingrained in the mind of fans who didn't realise that the two universes were connected. It's just special effects guys worked on both movies and had the prop.
That's what I'm saying, though. You know, bring it AVPVT. Turbo Man needs to get in on the action.
But Lucas, well, we've not talked about the idea of predator religion, because believe it or not, the predators do have a religion of sorts. And do you want to guess what it revolves around?
Is it just worshipping Arnie?
It's not worshipping Arnie, although they do revere Dutch Schaefer in that universe. Like Dutch Schaefer, because he killed a predator with his bare hands.
Right, yeah.
So like, people who can kill a predator are revered by the predator race. Like, they're strong enough to, and they're weirdly, like, they're not mad about it. You think they would be, wouldn't you? You think they'd like be annoyed that supposedly like the thing they hunt for game killed them. It's like, no, they lionize. Like, no, this, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dutch Schaefer, is a fucking, he killed a predator. He's awesome. He can be one of us if he wants, and that's why you have the Alien vs Predator movie. That lady fights alongside a predator and kills an alien, which in their culture means you can be one of us. You killed an alien.
Right.
You can join our clan if you want. You can become one of us. And in that vein, like, the predators are weirdly progressive.
We don't give a shit about what race you are.
As long as you can kill an alien.
That should be the barrier, shouldn't it?
But Predator religion, like everything they do, revolves around the hunt. And they don't believe in the concept of death as like this abstract metaphysical entity. They see it as this actual physical being, known simply as the Black Warrior. Which is already metal as fuck, right?
I mean, immediately, yeah. Like, that's a band name right there.
Right, and they see the Black Warrior as the ultimate hunter, who eventually wins all battles. Because even the deadliest, most seasoned, elderly predator eventually gets killed. And I'm now kind of mad. Do you know what you can, like, on a census form say, I'm a Jedi?
Oh, yeah.
You can say, I'm a Jedi, I'm into Norse mythology. Why can't I put this religion down?
I believe in the Is it the Black Warrior, did you say?
I guess like you don't want to put on your census form, I ascribe to the Predator religion, because like Catholicism, what? It's right there, you can just click that, that's the joke everyone's going to make.
That's why I wanted to say, like, I believe in the Black Warrior and not I'm a Predator.
Yeah, because that's the joke. Oh, you mean Catholicism? So I beat you to the punch, commenters were going to say that. Because I just like thinking now, like going in and seeing like a priest wearing like the Predator biomask and a Pope hat, and I'm like, I'm gonna listen to
Does that mean they've hunted the Pope and have got the Pope as a trophy?
I just the thing of like, if you go by the rules of their society, they kind of like decent-ish lessons for life. Like if you read them more as like like parables for how to approach everyday situations and not like hard, fast, literal rules to live by. Like the one of if you see someone like if another predator asks you to join their hunt, help them and share the glory. You could see that as like if another person asks you for help, you should help them. But otherwise, like leave them with the dignity of their independence. But if you do see someone who's struggling and you have the ability to help, you should do that. Like conversely, like do not prey on the weak or the elderly. And that's like don't pick on people who've got a worse lot in life than you. That's fucked up.
And if you see a xenomorph in space, fight it.
Reminds me a little bit of the great breakdown of a bunch of Bible stories I saw once. I'm going somewhere with this.
Yeah, I'm questioning this, Carl.
So, are you familiar at all with the parable of the loaves and the fishes? I think we talked about this in the podcast once.
As in, like, when he spreads the, like, one loaf and one fish among hundreds of people or whatever, yeah.
And if anyone's unfamiliar with the parable of the loaves and the fishes, the Bible story where Jesus is with 5,000 of his followers, and, like, they need food. And he asks them, is there any food knocking about? And they come out with, I think it's like 3 loaves and 5 fishes. And if you interpret the story in the Bible literally, which is what many people do, which I don't really like, it's like, oh, Jesus magicked it so there'd be more fish and more loaves.
He just transformed them into hundreds of fishes. Which
isn't exactly a good lesson. For like, what lesson are you supposed to take from that? Of like, oh, if you listen to our religion, like Jesus might magic more fish into your mouth. It's like, I much prefer the other reading I saw it of where, when Jesus says, like, take all the food you have and pass it to the next person, eat as much as you want and then pass it on. It's not like Jesus magic made the fish and the loaves multiply. It's that when Jesus asked people to give food in, only a few people were willing to, give what they had or what they had spare. But when they were told, eat your fill until you've had all you can and then share what you don't need or want with the person next to you, they realised, oh, actually, if we all just pitch in a little bit, we can all eat. And it's like, more like an allegory for like how if we all pitch in and do a little bit of work, society can improve somewhat, which I think is a much better lesson to take than just Jesus had magic powers and multiply some fish. So, what lesson do you really take from that?
Because, as well as just like working together and making sure that you're not hoarding food so that other people can't eat and you don't need that much food. It's like, if everyone takes like just enough and has what they need and passes on and helps out others, then everything will be much better and everyone will, like, be able to eat and drink.
Yeah, and I like that interpretation of that. I'm seeing, with the Predator thing of like, like these, if you read them literally and take them that way, it's like, I'm not going to go out and hunt a xenomorph. But some of those like lessons, if you interpret them more metaphorically, of just like, don't be a dick, help out when people need help and something, like they do have like, applications towards your real life and your own sense of personal morality, which means that you could have biomask wearing Pope at Predator. I want to see it. I know someone will be so mad at that. Like, either someone's going to be mad that we mentioned religion, well, religion's fake. It's like, it still influences the way people live, dickhead. So even in that case, like, it still has tangible real world effects. Or someone who's mad that we're like saying that Jesus didn't have magic powers. So we've pissed off everyone.
That is what we're, definitely here to achieve, apparently, Carl.
Is that is that a devil's advocate? I don't know. But I've always liked that breakdown I saw once. Like, if you read a lot of these like parables in the Bible, like don't read them as like a story of a man with magic powers. Read them like you would Aesop's fables of their metaphorical like life lessons, which you're supposed to take like, a message from. I don't know. I've always found that. I've
Go
always
watch
loved that
Wiki Weekdays.
Yeah, watch Wiki. Do you know what? If you want to see us do this a lot more, go watch Wiki Weekday. We get so into this sort of thing. Maybe we'll do like, Jesus' wiki entry. Let's like break down his superpowers. Powers and abilities, Jesus Christ.
We still never truly did like the fully researched follow-up of Jesus versus Hercules.
Oh man, that was a good one. Yeah, maybe we should do that. We should do like, Jesus of Nazareth's wiki. Go with his powers and abilities section. So what do you think? Like, he's gonna have some good band names as well. Jesus he's got a lot of like alternate names. He's got a lot of aliases. He's got some band names. Got some powers and abilities. There's certainly some nonsense he could get up to.
So if you want to see us potentially figure out the powers and abilities of Jesus Christ on a
I'll tell
wiki
you what,
entry,
if we get to 10,000 subs on Wiki Weekends, the new channel we've made, we'll do an episode on Jesus.